Jai Hind. Today we are going to discuss the topic of decision tree learning. So the contents we are going to cover here are decision tree representation, the decision tree inductive learning, the ID3 algorithm, learning algorithm, and this is based on the concept of information gain. So we'll talk about entropy and information gain. And the reference, I have taken all the material from machine learning book by Tom Michel. So let us start with the concept of decision tree learning. So what decision tree is? It is the most popular inductive inference algorithm. What it learns? It learns the decision. The decision tree learning is a method for approximating discrete valued target function. Discrete valued means we are having the concept of classification. So it is a method for approximating discrete valued target function in which the learned function is represented by a decision tree. So we will learn a decision tree. The decision tree will have the attributes and finally will take the attributes and finally it will give us the decision. The learned tree then can also be represented as the set of if then rules so that we can a human can understand easily. So this can be used for human readability. So now let us talk about some basic concept. So what is a decision tree? It returns decision and it forms a tree. So what it takes as a decision tree takes as input an object or situation which is described by a set of attributes. Now what are these set of attributes? These are our inputs. We are having inputs and for those input set attribute values we will have an output, that is our decision. So it will be taking as input the situation described by a set of attributes and it returns a decision, that is the predicted output value. So we will be having in examples inputs. The inputs are specified with a set of attributes and the output will be the decision here. We will reach to this decision by performing a sequence of tests. It means we will do a test, then according to the output of that test we will do another test and so on until we get the final decision. Each internal node in the tree corresponds to a test of the value of one of the properties, that is attribute. We'll take attribute one by one and the internal node will be based on the test of one attribute and the branch from the node are labeled with the possible values of the test. For example, if I take an attribute and alpha, so alpha is the attribute, it can have value different values. So let me say value less than 10 is one test and greater than equal to another situation. So let me take the test alpha is greater than 10. So output branches will be yes or no. Now what will be, where will be the decision? Each leaf node in the tree specifies the value to be returned if that leaf is reached. So we will, it will give us the final decision. The decision will be mentioned at leaf node. Let us understand with an example. So here we are having the concept, an example of play tennis. We are taking the decision that we will play tennis, the player will play tennis or not. So what are the outputs? Either yes or no. So at leaf nodes we can see that we are having the decision, play tennis decision, yes or no. So what will be the root here? What is the root here? The root is having one attribute, one property. So these are the attributes of the input instance. What attributes we have taken here? Outlook, humidity and wind. So here outlook can have one among the three values. What are the three values? Sunny, overcast and rain. So outlook can be sunny. So if outlook is sunny, this condition is true, then we will check second attribute. What is our second attribute here? That is humidity. Now when outlook is sunny, we are checking humidity is high or normal. So what is there? The attributes are mentioned on the nodes, internal nodes. Decisions are mentioned on the leaf nodes, and the branch from one branch going out from one internal node will be labeled with the possible values. So humidity, for humidity we are having two possible values, high and normal. So here we have mentioned one branch with high value, one branch with normal value. So this is one example decision tree. So how we represented the decision tree? In each internal node as an attribute, each branch is corresponding to one attribute value, and each leaf node is assigned a classification. That is our representation here. Now an important question comes, in what cases we should use the decision tree? So we can apply the decision tree concept, the decision tree learning, when we are having the instances which can be described by attribute value pairs. It means we are having attributes and their corresponding values. When we are having these type of inputs, we can apply decision tree. The second possibility is the target. Where should you apply the decision tree? In case of discrete value target function, that is our classification. We may have destructive hypothesis also, where we use destructive hypothesis, this or that. In that case, we can apply decision tree. And one more important point is, decision tree can be applied when we are having noisy training data. It can handle the noisy data. We have already applied decision tree in many of the applications. For example, medical diagnosis, credit risk analysis, calendar scheduling preferences, and other classifying predictions also. Number of areas are there where we have already applied decision trees. So what is our topic? That is inductive learning of the decision tree. So our algorithm is ID3 that we are going to discuss. Our basic algorithm ID3 learns decision tree by constructing them top down. Okay, so firstly root will be decided, then what will be the next level, means what will be the child node of the root node, and then their child node, and so on. So we will do the top down construction. So now what is the question? Question is, when we are starting from the top and we are going testing the attributes one by one towards the leaf node until we get the final decision. So what is the question? Which attribute should be tested at the root of the tree? So that is done with, that is decided by ID3. What we do, each instance attribute is evaluated using a statistical test, and then we determine what is the result of statistical test to determine how well it alone classifies the training example. It means we will be selecting the particular attribute which is classifying the most, which is distinguishing the input data the most. The best attribute is selected and it is used as the test at the root node of the tree. The best attribute is put at root node. That is the job which is done in this particular algorithm, that is ID3. Now, when we have decided the root node, now we have to decide its descendant. A descendant of the root node is created for each possible value of this attribute, and the training examples are sorted to the appropriate descendant node, that is down the branch corresponding to the example value for this attribute. So we will take the value. For example, in the last to last slide we talked about a decision tree. So if I see their outlook, it is having one branch Sunny. So next node will be decided according to the outlook, according to the attribute outlook in which the outlook value is Sunny. Same way other value was cloudy or rainy. So we will calculate other values. We will take the examples in which the outlook is having that particular value. The entire process is then repeated until the training examples associated with each descendant node to select the best attribute of the test at that point of the tree. So here what we use the greedy approach. This forms a greedy search for an acceptable decision tree in which the algorithm never backtracks to reconsider earlier choices. We will not backtrack to the earlier choices. We will do the greedy approach. We will select the current one, then next one according to the best attribute. So we are greedy about this best attribute. So this is our ID3 algorithm. What we are given some examples. Then we are given the target attribute, means what is our target. For example, we had the play tennis target and the set of attributes. For example, we had humidity, wind, outlook, so many attributes we were having, which is describing one instance. Okay, so what we will do, we will create a root node for the tree. Now some simple cases, association, what are those? If all the examples are positive, so simply the output will be positive. We will create a single node root and it will return a always positive, means play tennis. If all are negative, it means in the given examples we always have no option for play tennis. So in that case we will have a single node tree and its label will be minus, that is negative class. That is our no in particular case of the play tennis example. If no attributes are there, if attributes is empty, it means we don't have the attributes to check at internal nodes. Then we will have a single node tree, and what we will count negative examples and positive example. What will be the value, the label at root node? That will be the most common value of the target. If we are having 5 yes and 3 no, then simply yes will be the label of the root node. Otherwise means we are having few positive example, few negative example. It means neither of these are true. Neither all are positive nor negative. Other is the attributes are there, some attributes are there. It means the instances, the input examples have some properties. So we need to check the properties. And when we will check the properties, it means we have to find the order in which order I should check the attributes. So what we talked about on previous slides, that we will check the attribute which will classify the given training example the most, which is able to distinguish the given input example. Okay, so that we are now doing. So what we will do in this case, we will find out that one attribute, the attribute from the given set of attributes which is best classifier, that we will take. That will be the root node. Now for each possible value vi of a, what we will do, we will make a branch. So for each possible value vi of a, add a new tree branch below root corresponding to the test a is equal to vi. It means my test is outlook is sunny. What we are checking? The value of outlook is sunny. Outlook is mentioned in internal node and sunny is mentioned on the branch. So for that we'll do. Now which example set we will take? We will take the subset. Which subset in which that value has been taken? So it will be one subset of examples that have the value vi for a. So what we are talking about, in which sunny is there. all the values for all the instances, all the examples from the given example set in which the value is Sunny. So if there is no example, then below this new branch simply we will get a leaf node. Which leaf node we will take? Which is having the most common value of the target attributes. Again, when we will get it empty, we will count the total number of outputs, how many are yes, how many are no. Then we will take the most common one. Else what we will do? We will do the same algorithm, run again. We will run the same algorithm. It means from the remaining example, which example in which the value of that attribute is the same, Vi, that we have just taken. So we will apply the same algorithm in recursive manner on that subset of example. What is that subset of example? Example Vi. So we will go on doing this until we get all the leaf nodes telling us the decision, play tennis, for example, in this particular example. Now, what we discussed on the last slide, that is ID3 example. Now the question comes, we have to take a node which is the best classifier. The best classifier we have to take. So A is our node that best classifies the example. Okay, and that A will be the decision attribute for node. Then we will sort according to that. Now the question comes this: how the best attribute is taken? This is our main loop that we have to find out. Main loop means this one. This one. We have to find out the best attribute and then we have to find out its values. Now the question comes, how will you decide that it is the best attribute? So now let us discuss this concept that which one will best classify, which attribute will best classify the examples. So if I take this particular one, now I am having one attribute A1, another attribute A2. So at particular situation, I will have some type of values that these are my example, 29 positive, 35 negative example. It means yes class and no class. If I take the true examples in which A1's value, A1 can have some value, okay, which we call their Vi. So if I take that it can have only two values, true or false, then I see that for true it is having 21 positive and 5 negative. Then for false, when A1 is false, then we are having 8 positive and 30 negative value. So this is one attribute A1. Then we have another attribute A2. Again I am having 29, the total overall in the given example data set, 29 are positive, 35 are negative. But when I take A2 attribute, A2 is having two values possible, true or false. For true it is having 18 positive and 13 negative example, while A1 was having 21 positive and 5 negative example. And for false value of A2, it is having 11 positive and 2 negative example, while A1 was having 8 positive and 30 negative example. Now the question comes, this is the situation, so what should I select? I should select A1 or I should select A2? What should be the best decision attribute? So that is decided by the entropy. It is based on entropy. We will firstly find out the purity, the impurity present in the data set, that we will measure with help of entropy. Okay, so what entropy measures? The impurity of S. Okay, now the point is, which then we will select? That we will select according to information gain. So what we are taking here, let us take the S as sample training examples. S is the set of training example. P positive is the training of positive example in S. P negative is the proportion of negative example in S. Then entropy will be minus of positive example, probability the proportion into log P plus to the base 2 minus P negative, the proportion of negative example into log P negative to the base 2. So this is impurity of our total set. Now what we will measure? We will measure the information gain of each attribute. So what are my attributes that I considered on the last slide? That is A1 attribute and A2 attribute. I am having two attributes here. The first attribute is A1, the second attribute is A2. So we talked about the number of possibility of positive and negative example. So what we will calculate? The information gain. What is the information gain? It is the expected reduction in entropy due to sorting on A. So we will have the attribute, we will sort the data set based on A. Okay. So what that give us the information gain? It is the entropy of S minus the summation of all the possible values of A. Will consider V belonging to values of A. Set of number of examples using having the V value divided by the total number of examples in our data set multiplied by entropy of this particular subset which is having the V value for the attribute A. So what we will find out? The gain. Now what will be the best attribute? The best attribute will be the one which is having the maximum information gain. So this is our concept of ID3. Now we said that ID3 decides the tree according to the best classifying attribute. So what type of search it is doing? So in short, we can say that ID3 searches through the space of possible decision tree from simplest to increasingly complex, guided by the information gain heuristic. So we are applying the search in the hypothesis space and we are finding that particular decision tree which is having the heuristic information gain. Why we have used the information gain as the heuristic? Because it is classifying the most at the level of root, then next and then next. The hypothesis space is searched by ID3 is the set of possible decision tree. We are having different decision tree possible and it is searching in that. It uses hill climbing search beginning with the empty tree. Initially it is empty, then we create root and so on. Then considering progressively more elaborate hypothesis in search of a decision tree that correctly classifies the training data. So this is our search by ID3. So what is the inductive bias in ID3 in decision tree learning? Our preference is for short trees and for those which are having high information gain attribute near the root. So bias is preference. It is not restrictive. There is no restriction and it is following the Occam razor. It prefers the shortest hypothesis that best fits the data. That's why it is finding a node for the root which is best classifying the data based on the preference bias. Okay, so this is all about our ID3 algorithm, that is inductive decision tree learning. So in this lecture we talked about the basics of decision tree and the ID3 algorithm with its inductive bias. Thank you. Jai Hind.